Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and for today's video we are going to be doing the end of year book tag, which I'm super excited about. I have done this video a couple of times and I recently saw Books and Lala post hers and I remembered that this is something that I like doing every year. I remembered that it's something that I really enjoy doing every single year, and I figured I would take another look at the questions and observe my reading for the year. So that's what we're gonna do. There are only 6 questions, but somehow I still have about 20 books sitting next to me. So that is nerve-wracking, but let's get started. The first question is, are there any books that you have started this year that you want to finish by the end of the year? Obviously, yes. I have 3 that I picked out for this question. The first one being Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare, and just the Shadowhunter Chronicles in general. I don't think I can finish all of the Shadowhunter books by the end of the year, considering that it's November 12th and we only have a month and a half left in the year. The only things I would be reading would be the Shadowhunter Chronicles, and like that's fine. But I have other things that I desperately want to read, so I would at least like to finish the first 2 series. That's kind of my goal. I don't know if that is attainable or not. If I'm being perfectly honest with myself, I would really like it to be, but I don't know. So I would like to finish this because I've been in the middle of it for about, I don't even know how many months. The next one is one that I also started in like March and need to continue on with. I read the first third of it in one sitting and never picked it back up, even though I was enjoying it. And that is The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. This is the Fairy Loot edition. I got to page 72 and it was really good. And I put it down. I just never picked it back up again. It's a super quick read and I think it's going to be super interesting. It's like a Slytherin romance, so it's right up my alley. But yeah, it's like 300 pages, I think. It's 324 pages. It's a standalone fantasy. It's really good. I read the first 72 pages and set it down for whatever stupid reason, but I think I'm gonna really enjoy this one. Then lastly for this question, we have another fantasy book that I started over the summer and never picked up again, and that was The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I think I started this in like August, so it wasn't that long ago, but I'm 220 pages in and I never picked it back up again. I think it's because we switched perspectives when we got to part 2 and I was like, maybe not. So I don't know. I was really digging the whole school setting, and I'm pretty sure it switches to a war setting, which obviously, like, it's in the title, so duh. But I don't know. I'm nervous that I'm not gonna like it, but like everyone gives this book either 4 or 5 stars, so I don't know why I'm so nervous about it. But I love the writing. I love everything that you learn and just the whole world, and there hasn't been a ton of magic yet, but I'm super excited to see the magic system fleshed out. So yeah, I need to finish this, especially because The Burning God recently came out and I would like to, you know, continue on with this series. That would be nice. Okay, I lied. That wasn't my last one for this question. Another one that I really need to finish is an audiobook, and that is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. I believe I started reading this in June, and I just wasn't really in a contemporary mood. I haven't really been in much of a contemporary mood all year long. I've barely read any contemporary, which is strange for me because I feel like I typically read a decent amount of it, but I haven't really read any that I can think of. So I really need to finish this one and read some of Angie Thomas's other books, but yeah. This is embarrassing because I'm like literally halfway through. Question number 2 is, do you have an autumnal book to kind of transition you into the end of the year? I don't have a go-to one, but the one that I'm kind of using in lieu, I guess, of this question this year is A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. This has a lot of dark academia, but also it's a fantasy book, so I feel like this will be a good transition book to get me like kind of through finals and then into Christmas time where I have Christmas break and I can read as much as I want which I'm so excited for. I'm in the mindset right now, let me know if this is anyone else, where like I'm done. I'm done with school. Like I'm not done, literally, but mentally I'm checked out. I don't want to do it anymore, and I just want to read and enjoy myself. I'm over it. But yeah, I don't like have a specific one, but I feel like that's what I'm going to use A Deadly Education for this year. Question number 3, is there a new release that you're still waiting for? Yes. A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sava Tahir. I am so excited for. It comes out in December of this year. But before I can get to that, I need to finish A Reaper at the Gates by Sava Tahir. Again, I'm like a quarter of the way through. I'm on page 144. And I'm not done. Like, I haven't picked this up in over a year. That hurt me to admit, so we're gonna set this down. Question number 4, what are 3 books that you want to get to by the end of the year? I feel like all of these are books that I need to get to by the end of the year, but to stockpile some more on, one that I really want to read by the end of the year is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I feel like I'm going to love this book, and I've been wanting to read it for ages, especially since all of the books are out now. I feel like I'm gonna really enjoy this one, and I would love to read it by the end of the year, but I don't know. I really don't know. Another one that I'm pretty sure I put it on like I must read it in 2020, and that is The Savior's Champion by Jenna Maressi. This is kind of like an adult Hunger Games is basically what I've understood, to just vaguely summarize it. I really want to read this. I feel like it's going to be something that I really enjoy. How many times can I say that? And also the sequel was recently announced, the title for it. So I'm really excited, but I don't know. It's adult fantasy, and that's a genre that I really wanted to explore more into this year. And I definitely have done that, but I think I want to do a lot more of it. And this one is a good place to start. I don't know. I feel like this is going to be really fast paced as well, which is something that I'm really craving lately. And then lastly, we have like 2 books, but I'm counting them together, and that is Monstrous Volume 3 and Monstrous Volume 4 by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda. I never pronounce it properly. I still need to finish Volume 2, which I'm in the middle of right now. But I really want to finish off all of the graphic novels that I have on my shelf that aren't read, and I'm pretty sure these are the only ones that I have left to do that. I still have plenty of manga that I need to read, but I would love to finish off all of the graphic novels that I have. Plus, the 5th one just came out, and so I would love to be able to read that as well. Question number 5, is there a book that you think could still shock you and become a favorite of the year? So, if I can get there, one of my answers for this is Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. This one, everyone seems to absolutely adore, and it makes them cry, and I do really enjoy this series. So if I can finish this series, I feel like this could definitely be a contender in my top favorites of the year. Again, if I can continue on with this next series, I feel like A Heart So Fierce and Broken could also make this list, because A Curse So Dark and Lonely was like so high up on my list last year. So I feel like this one could also do that if I can get to it, which I should be able to, because I read A Curse So Dark and Lonely in just 4 days last year. So I feel like this isn't that big of a challenge. I just need to sit down and start it. And then lastly, one that I'm reading on ebook is Full Tilt by Emma Scott. This one is one that Chandler Ainsley recommended if you wanted like a super sad read, and this could go one of 2 ways. It will either be like one of the best books I've read all year or one of the worst books that I've read all year, because something that like triggers me and I'm super sensitive to is alcohol or alcoholism. And the main character suffers from that, and I think just substance abuse in general. I'm not very far in the book at all, so I could be totally wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure she struggles with alcoholism, and like I said, that like really bothers me. So if it's done well, I think it could potentially be a favorite, but if it just goes a little bit awry, I'm going to hate this book. And if that's the case, I probably won't rate it because it's not the book's fault. It's my fault for reading something that I know could be potentially harmful to me. I don't know why I do that to myself, but I want to read it. Like, I want to know. Sometimes you just need a good cry. So I'm gonna read it anyway. If it gets to be too much, I will obviously stop, but yeah. This is going to be interesting to read. And the last question, number 6, is have you started making reading plans for 2021? I have started setting my goals and outlining that video for my goals of 2021, which I'm really excited about, and I'm going to try and get up earlier this year than I did last year. I posted like halfway through January, which is not that bad, but I would have liked to have gotten it up sooner. But another one is like a book that I really need to read, and that is Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, which is the sequel to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which if you guys have stuck around at all this year, you know that's one of my favorite books of the year. I am so freaking obsessed with it, and literally since I posted my review, half of those comments are, the sequel's out now, you should read it. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not out in hardcover. Not to be that person, but I want my books to match. So yeah, but I am so stoked to read this, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a quartet, so I can't wait to read the rest of them. But yeah, I cannot wait to have that because the hardcover comes out next year, and I'm kind of dying a little bit, but I'm so freaking pumped, and I cannot wait to read that one. That's my end of the year book tag. I have a lot of work to do. I think I'm gonna go film a read with me so that I can kind of get started. I am in such a big reading mood right now, so I think I'm just going to kind of let that take me away and read as much as I possibly can, especially within the next couple of weeks. That's it for this video. I hope that you guys are all doing well, reading mentally and otherwise. Let me know if you have done this tag, or if you're planning on doing this tag, or just answer one of the questions in the comments below. I absolutely love talking to you guys. Let me know what you're currently reading. Let me know how stressed you are about the end of the year, because I know I'm super stressed. But yeah, hope that you're all doing well, reading mentally and otherwise. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I really hope to see you all in my next one. Bye guys.